Previously on the Ladies Room podcast.
Who helped the feds build a case? That's why it's important that you don't say nothing. That individual says, my story matches what that individual said. I hit you with it, we gonna give you life, and we gonna throw you under the bus, and we gonna da-da-da-da-da. The prosecutor made it clear, I don't give a fuck about the truth. I want a conviction. And
at one point, where was your product going from? The Virgin Islands to where? Did you have like different spots that you was transporting it to?
There's 50 states on the map, right?
So all 50.
I'm not gonna say all 50 states, but there was selective states. The life that you probably always dreamed of living, and especially when you have children, you want to make sure your children have everything. They don't ask for nothing. You know, I hired a driver.
Oh.
Coming to the gate, and I park literally in front of the feds. Literally parked up in front of the feds. The car, I saw the two guys in the SUV, the Yukon. So I come out, walking up on my business, and I heard my name called. And yes, we did something wrong. I'm not saying that you must slap us on the wrist, right? But to sentence somebody for that long is insane. Gentlemen of the jury, you know, this is my trial.
Look right here.
Trial.
So you got the whole manuscript from the trial.
This is the trial right here. Everything that was said in court, who said what said what, the witnesses, the expertise, and it was just a very interesting.
This episode is not your usual salon tea, unless your salon also discusses federal investigations and career pivots. For legal purposes, we at the Ladies Room podcast do not endorse, support, or encourage the use of sale of extracurricular drugs or narcotics. Matter of fact, we've never even smoked weed a day in our lives, and we definitely don't associate with any powdery substances unless it's dry shampoo. Now let's get into it.
Oh my God, why would they do this to me?
I'm not going to go back and forth with the attitude.
Why are you still using it? It's weird.
When my hair ain't done, I don't even go on social media because I don't feel like getting judged and talked about.
Why you keep attracting certain people? Because that's what's in you.
Saying if he want to fight me, I ain't gonna handle that.
So we're going to get back we're going to dive, ladies, right back to where we left off. We left off at the part where, Lonnie, you were talking about you were on the plane. It was American Airlines that you was on. No, it was Delta. It was American Airlines.
She is the American Airlines.
Okay, yes. Okay, so when you was on American Airlines that day, you said that the security had came around you, the dogs, customs, and all this and that. You're on the plane. So take it from there to the point where you had to go through a super indictment. Take it from there for me.
So before it got to the superseding indictment,
I think it went out.
She went out, but we'll get her back, though.
Okay.
Go in the meantime.
So, when they came, the dogs, they obviously, it was wiretap.
Okay,
So they knew they was coming for her, but she didn't know that it was wiretap. So, of course, they have to play. It's like a formality. We're going to do this and say, well, the dog sniffed you out, that type of situation. So they called her down, opened her luggage, and, obviously the bricks was right there.
Yeah.
And then they was going to arrest her. Of course, her phone was ringing because that was my business partner at the time. So
we're back on too, just a heads up.
So, when the phone was ringing, she was trying to answer the phone, but she snatched the phone from the officer. And we're going to let her finish now that you're back online. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
You can tell your story better than I can.
Raining. It's raining, so the internet is
going
okay,
in.
So it's raining. Okay.
What was you have said up until?
Till when you was getting that phone call, and when you would try to answer the phone, the officer was trying to take the phone away from you.
And I snatched it from her because don't take my phone, it's mine, and I need to answer. So at that point, they put me to the side and they put my baggage on the cart outside. They opened it, and of course, they saw what they were looking for. So then I went into interrogation for maybe like 6 hours. It was long.
So,
And
and hold on. And during that interrogation, they're just basically asking you about questions about what they may have suspected or what they may have thought. And it took 6
correct.
hours to.
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
Because I was nonchalant. Like, I was like, I don't know. You gotta do your job. Like, I'm not doing it for you.
Right.
You gotta do it. So then they brought me, after the 6-hour interrogation, they brought me to the prison. And I was booked. And maybe like an hour later, they came and they released me. And I was like, And I looked at them and I was like, okay. So at that point, I was like, why? I asked the officer, I was like, why are they releasing me? And she was like, I don't know. I've never seen this before, but go. And I was gone. You had to catch me then. I was on.
So after that, after you got out, did they did they ever tell you why they let you go in that instance?
They didn't want me. It wasn't me they were looking for.
Oh.
They didn't want. They wanted who I was going to, but they stopped the run.
Oh, okay.
And they had continued to let her do
the run. They
follow the money.
Yes, and go and get the honey pot
Correct.
But they stopped. They intercepted. So then they wanted me to tell them where I was going, and I refused. No.
Okay. So when you left, how long were you on the go for?
2 months.
Whoa! In 2 months, what were you doing? What was going on? Because you're pregnant. We was talking. You was saying
I wasn't pregnant yet. I wasn't pregnant yet.
You wasn't pregnant then?
Mm-mm. I was just. I really wasn't doing anything because I had already sent my son back home with my aunt. So I was basically just waiting for them to come back for me because I knew they were coming back. So it was just a waiting game I was playing.
Of course, because they got to investigate and they have to go back and do this, right?
So it was a waiting game.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow! Mm-hmm. So then, so after that, you're on the go, and so
I was arrested September 1st.
So explain that. How did that day? Where, what time was it? What was you doing? What was going on there?
So they were looking. My warrant was already issued, but I didn't know about it. So they already knew where I was. So they blocked off the whole road. They had helicopters. They had the guns. They had everything. So they knocked on the door, and no one answered. So they knocked again, and my boyfriend mom went downstairs, and they held the warrant for my arrest, and she froze because it's like, this girl is upstairs. I can't tell them no, she's not. So they came. She knocked on the door. She came upstairs. They arrested me. They read me my Miranda rights. They arrested me, and I went. They booked me to the county jail. But they had the helicopters. They had dogs. They had everything. And on my warrant, it said that I was unarmed and I wasn't dangerous. But they still had, it's protocol, I guess.
That is crazy. What do you need this for? What do you need to block off the road? You got helicopters at the top.
That's what they do. They just get a hard on. I just think they get a hard on. That is look what we do. We got to call these people. It really probably just gets some off. Like, somebody literally probably was in the car like, this is just it for me. Like, this just really done made my day. Like, that is crazy.
This is what we've been looking for.
Mm-hmm. Yes. We finally don't got her down. We finally don't hunt her down.
Yeah, but when she came out, this little petite thing, like, that's her.
Just walking outside like,
right. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy.
Oh, wow.
So they got her in. Mm-hmm. So now, obviously, they have her. Now they have to go look for the other players.
Okay.
So they do.
They're just they're just knocking it like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, but she's not talking. But the island.
They arrested 3 of us the same day at the same time.
Right.
Okay. So where Lonnie, where were you when they arrested you?
In North Carolina.
Okay.
So remember the first time when they let her go? Then she went to
North Carolina.
Right.
Okay. So when you was in the Virgin Islands, you went to North Carolina, and that's where they were looking for you at.
Yeah, that's where they found me at.
Oh, wow.
While they have the other players, of course, questioning is being taken place. And they had one player, she was giving them information like it was...
Like she was just singing like a bird. And is that the one player that actually had got you linked up that day when you were supposed to go to the meeting?
Yes, it was that young lady and another young lady confirmed. It need two witnesses to say, yep, what she said is right. And then they're going to be like, okay, we're going to go ahead and go to the grand jury with this information. You have a warrant for her arrest. And I don't know how my bar manager, I don't know how she got into the play. I don't know how they found her, connect to her, but it was weird to me. I don't know. But obviously they had her number and they set up the meeting through her. So
do these people get like a incentive for telling, or do they get like security for being looked after in case somebody comes after them from telling information? Is it something that they get or something? Like, why would they do? I'm just trying to figure out, like, why? What is the point of these people?
They get nothing but a thank you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, thanks for getting the bad people off the street, the criminals.
But but it's not. You don't. What are you doing? You're not getting nothing from this.
No.
Like,
you're getting. I guess to them is like we could put you in jail because they're gonna pressure bust pipe.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna feel like, well, just help us and da-da-da. I don't know what was said. I don't know. But that's what they do. Just help us, and hey.
we'll look after you or something.
Yeah, they ain't doing all that. They don't care about that. That don't even exist. Look after who? Yeah, please.
So when they arrested you, Lonnie, then that day, what was going on for you when you had got
I'm still moving and grooving. I'm still working. I'm still doing events. I'm still out there because now I'm listening. I got the ears, I got the eyes, and I got people in the streets like, hey, yo, what the streets is saying. Okay, this is what I heard. This is what I'm like, okay. Well, I'm gonna continue to just be normal. Okay, but that gut feeling is like, man, they coming for you, right? And you're like, okay, you know, my daddy always said, don't never let them see you sweat. People make they comments, they coming for you, they coming for you. I say, well, if they coming for me, they know where to find me because I ain't hiding. But I was not. Right. Some individuals are going to hide. They're going to like, well, I'm just gonna fly out, because at that point, I'm not a person of interest, but it's in the process of being a person of interest. I could have took a plane and took my kids and fly out. No, but I'm not doing that with 5 children.
Right. And you have a thriving business going on as well.
Like, I'm not doing that. I'm just like, hey, I'm just going to see how this pan out. Maybe there's a God in heaven, say maybe overturn. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Right. But in the flip side, it's like, whew. And I'm like, I'm going to thug this out. I'm going to da-da-da. But it didn't work that way. I got arrested, obviously. Now, after they have lines, they have the other players. Now it's like, I think we got a superseding indictment. So we're going to get her and the others. Okay. And, of course, they arrested, I think, 3 of us got arrested that day. It was me, Tins, Reach, and I think Mo. I think we all got arrested that day.
On the
superseding indictment. So it was like, if we're gonna get her, we gotta get the other players.
We gotta get other players as well.
Right. So we all obviously end up in the same holding cell area because we all had to see the judge. So I think I got arrested first, and I think everybody
then went doom.
Right. And then we all met up in the little holding cell in the court, and everybody was like, I didn't say nothing. I was just quiet and calm, and they was like, "You so calm." I said, "What you want me to do?"
We're like, "What you?"
I mean, we already know it was coming,
right?
We already know it was coming, so it was like, yeah, we just gotta. I mean, we here now, so let's just move forward, And of course, at that point, everybody was like, "Well, I didn't say this, I didn't say that, I didn't say this, I didn't care what nobody said. I just wanted to see the papers, and I just waited." When I went to court, I got released on my own recognizance and so forth. Of course, we slept a night in jail. That weekend in jail.
Okay, so that weekend in jail.
I think it was like the week of Thanksgiving or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so...
It was a week before.
Or something like that. I know Thanksgiving was close because I had to cook.
Oh, whoa.
So I was able to be home for Thanksgiving with my family.
Okay. I was going to ask you that. Good.
Yes.
Thank you. Happy
Yes.
holidays. Thank you. Happy holidays.
Right.
Happy holidays. So, Lonnie, were you able to be home with your family as well for the holidays during that time?
Yeah.
Okay. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. So
it was a lot.
So they arrested me up there. That was September 1st. I found out I was pregnant September 2nd in jail.
In jail.
No. Mm-hmm.
Right, because you got to go to medical.
And then they shipped me back home. I went through the process of being shipped as an inmate, basically.
Back home. Oh, wow. So did you have your baby while you were in jail or no, you didn't?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was in custody.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. It was, yeah.
That's I'm so sorry about that.
It was just a condensing, to do everything. It was a crazy process, but while you're going through that process, a lot of things is just going through your mind. Like what's next? I don't know. My children, my family, I'm a disappointment. My family's embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. Okay, I don't care. I do care. Oh my God, it's just a lot of things going through your mind, but it's like, what do I do? All you can do is just keep going forward.
Yes.
You know, at that time, all of us was just trying to figure out, like, well, who said what said what. That's what everybody was trying to figure out. Of course, me was the only one that went to court trial, so everybody's looking at me like, what?
What? You're in trial. So it wasn't given to them that you were like you had snitched or you were the person of like had told
Correct.
everything.
It was like she was the one that did this, whoop whoop whoop, and so forth. And I'm like, what? No, I'm absolutely not.
I'm just trying to clear my name in this instance.
So of course, I made that decision to say I'm gonna take it to trial, and my attorney looked at me and I said, "Yeah, I have a right to face my accuser according to the law, right?
That is true.
Let's face the accuser.
That is true."
So obviously, when they was told that I was going to trial, it was like, no, she can't go to trial. She needs to sign the plea. She knows she was a part of it. I never denied that I was a part of something. I wasn't a part of that thing.
Hello.
Okay.
Wrong player.
Okay. So obviously I was dancing with the devil. I went to trial. Now, of course, when you go to trial, everything comes to you. Who said what said what. Because whoever is going to testify, you have a right to see. So I said everyone's statements.
So you seen what? Okay.
Everything what everyone said, I had it.
Oh, wow.
So I looked at my attorney and I said, "Oh, okay, that's a good thing I ain't go to trial because this is crazy."
Right.
I said, they really said this? You telling on this person supposed to be your friend. You telling on this person supposed to be your friend. You went all the way down to the purple shirt. At the end of the day, pressure bust pipes.
Once again, pressure bust pipes. So when you got this information, your attorney gives you this information.
We're going through it. We're going through timelines. We're listening to phone taps. We're like, I have to listen to everything because I'm preparing for trial. So I'm listening to all the wiretaps. I'm listening to what was said. I'm listening to see if my name was called, how many times, and if it was called, how many times it was called, what was said in that conversation, the date, the timestamp, who they was talking to. Like, we had to really try to put everything together. Obviously, we didn't have enough time because it was like, it seemed like a big case for the island because it's 9 women, but it's really not a big case, because it's tax dollars. Right. But it was like an eye opener for me because it was, wow, I'm really going to trial. Wow, I have the possibility of possibly could go 20 to life because this is what they're saying. He could give you 20, he could give you life. I'm like, this ain't no RICO case.
Right. This ain't like I just went around and just slaughtered people all around the city or anything.
It doesn't matter. All they're looking at is the drugs. And what they do, they was doing stacking. Stacking is...
Now, what is that?
Stacking is, okay, so Lon's got 3 to 5 kilos of cocaine they caught her with. So now they're going to be like, well, if Lon's did this much, then this girl did this much, then this girl did this much, then this girl did this much. So they're going to stack all that together and
make a whole...
Correct. And say like, well, now that I'm going to try, everything is on me now. Like, all this drugs that they did.
Whoa.
And how much money you got from this. Oh, yeah, we got... One smart individual of the players said, well, this is how much money I got. So they're going to take that money, add it with and just say, okay, well they was making 400 and something, 50, and you're like, I'm in court like.
So how much were they saying that
they put everything on you when you go to trial?
How much did they put on you?
You know, I don't remember the exact number, but it was a very long number.
It was
okay.
a very big number, big.
But I had needed Johnny Cochran at that point.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, whoa. I'm like, what? I said, where these numbers come from?
Oh, wow.
And it was explained to me like that's what they do. They now it's you against the United States. So they're gonna take all that and whatever she said and she said and she said and he said and they said and the community said and they're gonna say, okay, we're gonna put that down because it's all about a conviction at the end of the day.
Right.
You know,
right.
I mean, yes, we did something wrong. I'm not saying that you must slap us on the wrist, right?
Right.
But to sentence somebody for that long is insane.
That is very interesting. That is interesting.
That's insane.
Yes.
So, you know, of course, we got right here, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. You know, this is my trial.
Look right here.
Trial.
So you got the whole manuscript from the trial.
This is the trial right here. Everything that was said in court, who said what said what, the witnesses, the expertise, and it was just a very interesting. That's the book. That's it right here. That
is what y'all was sitting down going through.
This is what was said, and it was typed. You know the lady that you see in the type. Everything that you say, if you sneeze, they go sneeze. Yeah.
So
everything right here.
So when you got that and you seen what was said and you're seeing what's being heard,
you don't get this until after the trial is ended.
After the trial,
right? Your attorney requests this.
Okay.
So obviously, as I'm going through court and I'm remembering everything after I was done, ready in prison, settled, sentenced, doing my time, this came in the mail for me, and I'm like, what is this? And when I looked at it, I'm like, I'm gonna write a book, and this is exactly what it's gonna say.
Yes. What is it going to say?
United States of America versus me.
Yes. I would love that.
Coach Purpose, the indictment story. Stay tuned for the indictment story book. It's coming. It's coming to the streets near you. But it was a very interesting journey. Very interesting journey. Lons and I got closer. You know, she got her cosmetology license. She was my hairdresser because my hair was blonde at the time. You know, and she would do my hair. It was just like a sistership fellowhood. That's not even a word. Like, what am I saying, right?
Fellowship.
And then we bonded more. We had our good moments. We had our bad moments. It was just a learning experience. You know. So,
okay, I want to go back to the day that you was in court. You're getting all this information. You're doing all that. Your attorney is telling you, girl, we're about to go against the sentencing. We're going to tell you the sentencing is happening now. The day before the sentencing, you're sitting there, you're thinking, take me back to that day for you. And then Lonnie, I want to hear your day of when they gave your sentencing as well and all that.
So it's a time where everyone comes to the court when they have to do. You stand in front of the judge and they're gonna say, do you agree and understand what is happening before you? You wasn't forced or coerced or right? So of course you would say what you say, yes, no, whoever, or I need more time, and then they will collaborate that. So I'm sitting now watching everybody, their pleas getting read because everyone plead. I am the only one that went to trial. So I'm sitting in a plea hearing? It was like a plea sentence hearing type ordeal. So everyone
what's the name of it?
It's some
change of plea hearing.
Right. That's your opportunity, I guess, to say, well, I don't agree with this, I agree with this, I don't agree, or so forth. And everyone plead, they agreed to what their plea was, but I'm the only one sitting there.
Like, oh no, I'm not doing that.
I'm going to trial.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to trial. So
it was me and you until January. And I was like, nope, I gotta
Lonnie was gonna go to she was gonna go to trial as well because she had a good attorney at the moment at that time, and I was just like, I'm not doing that. Like, no, y'all got me out here like. It's Liz. She said she did. She right. Nah.
And during time that media, it was just was it a lot for that like the attention that it was
right
bringing?
Because now it's like. Oh, the streets is ugly and mean, y'all. Like, the internet is ugly and mean.
Yes.
If you know you said it, if you know you're right, you know she's right. I don't know why she did it. It was everybody had something to say. She knows she was da, 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 da. Everyone had something to say. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hold my head up every day and I'm gonna walk these streets and I don't care. And I dare somebody to do something to me.
Well, hello.
Okay, like
Right.
so I said I'm gonna go to trial. Because one thing about it and two things for sure, it brings the rat to the surface.
It does. So the day you're in chair, you're with your attorney, y'all sitting there. It is the day of trial. It is the day of sentencing. What goes on in the courtroom for you that day?
A lot was going through my mind. It was just like you have 12 people deciding your fate. You know, you have some people who are friends. And you have some people who's friends of the friends that's a part of, because they want to know, well, since you're going to trial, I want to sit and see what's being said, you know what I'm saying? Because people don't want to go by he say, she say. So there were certain individuals in the courtroom, they wanted to hear it for themselves, what really went down. So they sat and listened to the testimonies of the players that decided to testify. Now, they had rehearsed for 6 hours to testify against me. So it's like they was prepped. Let me use that word.
Whoa.
Yeah, they was prepped for 6 hours.
Go back again. You said they was prepped 6 hours to testify against you.
Yeah, they did a mock trial. So in the mock trial, it's like you're actually in like a court. Okay, there's no people there. It's just the judge, the prosecutor, the attorney, and the witnesses. Okay. And they're actually going to ask these questions. The questions that they asked at that mock trial is the same questions that they will be asked at the actual trial.
Whoa.
So I didn't know that until it got leaked to me and said they did a mock trial. They was, rehearsing for 6 hours because they was really trying to convict you.
Wow.
And then the officers in the, this is a small island, everybody's connected, right?
Right.
The officers sent a message out to me and was like, yo, they in here in the cell trying to rehearse again. Like, you remember she said that? No, that was not what it was. It was this. She didn't have the black hair. She always wear blonde. Because, one person said I had black hair, but my signature is blonde. So it was like, okay. So they're telling me like, yo, they in the cell practicing. And they was like, this is crazy. I said, what? I said, I'm going to have to be ready for this. Yeah.
So when you get this information about them doing a mock trial, how does that, like, at that moment, I bet you was like, don't nothing surprise me at this point. Like,
no, because at the end of the day, it's like they only want a conviction. The prosecutor made it very clear. I don't give a shit about the truth.
They just wanted to convict someone.
I want a conviction. You could come to me and tell me these bowl of cherries was really floating and she was not in the room. But she was on the street corner.
And the bowl of cherries still are floating.
They're still floating.
Wow.
She doesn't care. They just want to know, if she was in the street, we going to say she was right by the garage.
So it was a woman judge that was over the case?
No, it was a woman prosecutor, but it was a male judge. It was a black prosecutor. Oh. African-American black. I mean, that's her job. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It is what it is.
Right.
But it was just like, she was on us. Like,
she was the Fannie Willis. She was on y'all. She wasn't letting up.
No, she was like, I don't care about the truth. I want a conviction. That's what I'm here to get. It's a conviction. So what was what and what was what? Tell me the day when it started.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
I said, I don't know.
So, okay, they doing this mock trial. You're getting sentenced. That's already in play in the back of your mind. Like, these people don't really just went to a whole nother side of this to try to pin this all on me. The judges told you, what did the judge tell you? What was your sentencing, your fines?
So, of
all
course,
that. Take me back.
And of course, in the court, they're listening to the stories, they're listening to the timelines when it started, how it started, who was what was said, what place, what time, all that is taking place. If I have a rebuttal, of course, my attorney would say something. When my attorney went up, obviously, he asked them certain questions. He was able to prove that they was lying, right?
Right.
And he was trying to get certain things thrown out, but then the prosecutor would rebuttal, and then the judge would be like, no.
Okay,
and I'm like, yo, this is... So I'm taking notes because I'm writing everything down. I'm like... So I would tap to him and be like... no, ask her this, ask her that. And at that moment, I'm paying attention to the jury because now some juries are watching me and some juries is watching the prosecutor. So we was able to read who was on their side, right? Because every time when the prosecutor talk, you would see who's paying attention and how they're so in deep
into what's been said.
And versus when my attorney go up, the ones who's into the prosecutor's not really paying attention. They just busy looking at, okay. Because we really believe she really did this. Like, she's doing this. Right. I mean, I was a part of the situation, but I wasn't part of that situation, If you're going to convict me on what I did.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? If you're going to tell my story the right way. Like I said, I said what I said and said, well, okay, this is what I did, right? Okay, well, go ahead and prosecute me on that. But now, I guess because I'm going to trial, and I have the audacity, according to the prosecutor, I have the audacity to face the government that we're going to show her.
Oh, and what do they say?
I mean, they sentenced me to 10 years, 120 months in federal prison.
And that when the judge said that, and he said, "Purpose, this is your sentence," and what?
I had to stand up. Of course, obviously, when the trial was over, everything was said. They have to go back in the room and they have to, come up with not guilty or the guilty or so forth. It took them a very long time.
Did you feel in that moment like, okay, I may walk out of here with something lesser than, or?
It was an up and down feeling for me. Very up and down feeling, because 1 minute I felt good, 1 minute I felt bad. I almost felt like I was tug of war in the spirit. It was like, I said, guys, I don't know. I'm feeling good, but I'm not feeling good. Because I pay attention to my knots in my stomach. I'm paying attention to like everything. And I'm like, I don't have this feeling. I have a dark cloud over me. And of course, we had to go back inside. And then when they came to a decision, and it was like late at night, I think. I think it was like maybe 8 or 9 o'clock probably. And then when they said, guilty, I said, okay then. And when they said they plead, the prosecutor walked out. Cause she about to go have her a gin martini or something, have her a Cosmo or something. I don't got it. So it was like, the marshal knew me, and he was just like, "I'm sorry, man. I got it." Cause they arrest you again, and then they put the cuffs on, and of course I looked at my family, and they was just like, everybody was just shaking their head, and of course I went into jail, and lawns and all of them was by their gate, some people didn't give a shit. Some people was like, "You okay?" I just went in my room, and I just in the little cell. I went in the first cell, what's they call the suicide cell, because it's like you just got sentenced. So you about to get some time. So,
right.
So it's like I'm on the observation. I wasn't suicidal or anything, but I was like, I'm good. And the warden was like, "You're too quiet. Like, you walked in here and ain't say nothing. You ain't flip out. None of that." So they locked me in my cell, and the others, the other players was out. Now, anytime where they asked me, "Do you want to?" They had to separate me, and that was their way of separation. And if I had to go to rec, then they'll either take me there or take them there. So it was crazy, but I went with the flow of everything.
So how many days were the trial? How many days was that?
2 days.
2 days. Okay. So they gave your sentencing. You're in there now. Did when you were doing your sentence, you got your book here, right? And when you're looking through your book,
I don't get that book yet until I'm actually doing my time in prison. So during that time, this is non-existent. I'm just right now going through the motions of being processed, by to get, I got to go back to get sentenced after trial is done. You have to go back to actually get sentenced to that time. However, things was happening in between all of that. It took me 1 year to get sentenced. It was just a lot going on in between the midst of craziness. It was just a lot. I'm going from here to Puerto Rico, flying. Lonnie is pregnant. We're bunkies at one point. Then they leave to go to Puerto Rico. I'm still in the islands. And then it was just...
So you got transported to go to Puerto Rico?
Correct, because they have an actual federal facility there.
Okay.
So we was just more in like the St. Thomas has more like a jail, like a
detention center.
Something like yeah.
Okay.
So we're just touring with the feds on a private plane, going back and forth to court. That's just what it is. In shackles on the plane, just going back and forth from here to Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, you pull up, it's a black truck. Everything just dark. Windows dark, everything dark. You sitting in the dark.
Oh, wow.
You're in shackles. You can't see nothing. You don't know where you're going. You don't know.
And so it was like almost like you was in Twilight. You was almost like
it was like, what time is it? Shut the fuck up.
And they're probably driving fast and just
don't care. Yeah, at that one point we was coming down the stairs, and of course, you're sometimes they chain you together or they'll chain, and if somebody slips, everybody coming down. It's just moments of that, like, oh my God, take your time. I ain't tell you take your time. Shut the fuck up. No talking. It's just. They just talk to you like animals.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's sad. It
is very sad. That is very sad.
Like the movie Con Air. If you ever see the movie Con Air, that's real. That's a real thing.
Yes.
Con Air is a real thing.
That is crazy. Oh, wow. Okay, so real. Lonnie, a question. Take me back to the day of your sentencing and how you felt and what was going through your mind that day.
Well, I was already in custody when I got sentenced. So I was in custody from January. I got sentenced. I waived for a speedy sentencing because of the fact that I was pregnant. So I got sentenced March 16th, 2017. And I woke up, I didn't sleep the night before. I was up all night. And my sentence was, I signed an open plea, 5 to 40. 5 years to 40 years, 5 being the minimum, 40 being the maximum. So I went in and I'm sitting there waiting for the prosecutor to come in, and she busts the door with a coat and it's a whole cape, and she swing the back open like, yeah, we got this one today, because she hated me. She hated me. And she's arguing, and she went up. And the judge was like, okay, so do we give her any of her reductions because of the fact that I signed the plea? And she was like, no, I gave her multiple opportunities to get her sentence reduced. And she made the government fall flat on their faces. And this was her exact words in court. And I'm like, oops, you should have done your job. Like, that's not my job. That's not my part to do. So you have to do that. So she was like, no, she's going to get her mandatory minimum. So the judge was like, do you have anything to say? And they had already told me, like, if you apologize, he's sympathetic on you. And then due to the fact that I'm pregnant, it might work. So I was like, whole character, put some tears in my eyes. I'm like, okay, well, I apologize. He was like, he watched me. I guess he knew that it was like, I was faking it. Because as soon as I apologized, the tears were gone. I was back to normal. So he sentenced me to 5 years incarcerated, 5 years probation. And I heard my dad in the back like, this motherfucker. And I'm looking around like, shush, before you make it give me more time. My father started to yell in the back, but so I was, so he sentenced me. And he took me back in, and March 17th, I was in Puerto Rico. I was sentenced and I was gone.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
It's yeah.
Oh, wow.
But to sum everything all up is just, the process was quick. It wasn't drawn out and long. It was like a couple of months. So, yeah.
So when you were in jail, what was something what flipped in your head was like, I'm not getting myself back into this again.
Those that labor among you. Everybody say they're real. Everybody say they got you. Everybody say, but do they really have you? You just have to pay attention to individuals that you surround yourself with, who you befriend. That's what you have to do. I mean, you make your choices.
That's true.
Everybody got a price, like I said before. What's yours?
That is true.
What's your price?
That is true.
Are you willing to pay that price? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people now just sell their soul. You don't realize how you sell your soul. And not about literally like selling your soul, but it's just selling your soul in things. Like I sold my soul to gain more money with selling drugs because I did it. I went back into it because I was like, I need this. I want this.
Right.
It just is what it is. No judgment to anybody else, not discrediting anybody else. You do what you got to do, and that's just you. That's your decision. And if you love it, hey, go
for it. What was your first step to rebuilding your life after
building a closer relationship to God? I always knew who God was because I grew up the Seventh-day Adventist. However, being in prison, just building a closer relationship, being more spiritual with a relationship with Him, sitting with individuals who was Bible studying, choir practice. Like Lonnie would tell you, it was just
who is this person?
right. It was a whole total shift. You know, I just built. He showed me a lot of dreams. I'm a dreamer, so he showed me a lot of things in my dream. I'm taking you on this roller coaster, but you're gonna shift.
Yeah. Okay.
And of course, it was a good thing because I was more inspirational. I was more motivational. I was like an inspirational catalyst in the prison community. Even though I still did my little things, I'd be walking around my little crochet bag, knowing I'm not supposed to, but that was me. I didn't care. I was confident.
Right.
In the sense of like, you can't touch me. I'm invisible. I'm a child of God.
Right.
I still do what I want to do. But, that's how I was able to just, rehabilitate, personal development, read a lot of books, read a lot of coaching books, stay prayed up, just surround myself with positive people that's going to help push me into my purpose. And, one day in the closet, my friend was like, God got something to say and I got something to tell you. And she prayed and she was like, God told me to say that your name is purpose and He has a purpose for you and you are a multi-millionaire, billionaire, and you're going to change the world. I said, I receive it, Lord.
Hey, I believe and receive. So that was like your baptism. That was like your new beginning.
It was a confirmation. It was a confirmation of what was said earlier from a lady who is she works for the more political House Senate in Tampa or somewhere. She was a prophet as well, and not somewhere. Let me don't say that, but her name is Kimberly Daniels. She is an author. She's a prophet of the Lord. She told her story, and she picked me out of 200 women in the room. Like, not only just me, but other several women, but I was one of them. And she just pretty much prophesied over my life and told me everything that I was holding in that no one knew. And when she told me, this is what God told me to tell you, I fell to my knees and I cried.
7 is the number. You said it was 7 women. 7 is the number of completion. Something is going to fall in place for you this year. Something is definitely going to fall in place. Ching, 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 ching.
In the ladies' room.
Yes, in the ladies' room.
So it was that was a change. It was I was rescued, guys, not arrested.
Say that again for me. Say that again.
I was rescued, not arrested.
Yes. So,
and that is an actual book. That is an actual book that I've read, and I was like, this is very phenomenal. This is great.
Yes. I love that. I love that. So now you're Coach Purpose and you're telling your story. You're being motivational, inspirational, and you're putting your story out there. You're letting people know about your story. Did you do a book? Did you go on motivational tours? Take me back to you rebuilding your life. And
so coming out from prison, rehabilitating, hitting the ground running, right? I had a very strong support team. Started working as a server in a Black-owned restaurant. Okay. Then I moved up to being the manager of store manager of that restaurant up to this day. Joined in between those, I was taking coaching classes. I went to Morehouse School of Medicine, became a certified justice involved life coach, helping other individuals who was justice impacted. Did a speaking engagement, mentor and volunteer at other cohorts that's here in Atlanta, Georgia. Just motivating, helping the youth, even individuals as myself. So now what I'm working on is I have some workbooks that are going to be on Amazon Live this month. It's a personal development book, Foundation of Personal Development, Foundation of Leadership Skills, Foundation of Team Building. I forgot them. Oh. But it will be on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
They're going to be on there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and buy more copies, a bunch of copies, and I'm going to distribute them to like the halfway house. I'm going to mail them back to the prison so that they can have these books.
I love that.
I'm going to volunteer my services to facilitate a class. I'm working on the exit strategy right now from prison because a lot of people don't know how when they exit out of prison, they're stuck.
A question, I was going to ask you that. What is one thing people get wrong about people who are incarcerated?
They judge you and they just think that you're defined by your papers and your circumstances. And they're like, oh, well, I can't hire you, or, oh, you're a criminal. And everybody deserves a second chance. Nobody's not perfect, because the difference between us and those officers, we may not be able to go into those uniforms, but they could come into those uniforms.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
They can,
That's
so
true.
you give a person a chance, and you could tell if a person is really truly rehabilitated. Your action is going to show. Whatever you focus on is what you're going to project, and So give people a chance, and don't be so quick to judge. If you feel that they're not the great fit, I don't feel that you're the great fit. However, I can point you in this direction. Or I feel that you may need a little additional training or skill set here. But they say they have these skill set, but do they really have the skill set?
Right.
To help you? Do they have the resources? That's what they say, but that's a little shaky. It's a little shaky. A little shaky right now. I don't want to touch on that. It's a little sensitive.
Okay. A question. Another. What piece of advice would you give someone who is considering going down a path similar to the path that you took?
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
If you don't want to hear count time, stand on your feet. If you don't want to hear chow time, if you want to hear 15 minutes, lights out, lockdown, don't do it. It's real talk. It's not worth it. If you have find a strong support group, friend, someone that can really help you. There's help out here. It's hard to find it, and it's they said a listening ear is a running mouth sometimes, but sometimes God is going to position and point you into the right direction. You have to listen. You have to be able to discern His voice, and I learned that on my journey of personal development, right? So to those, stay encouraged. Keep your head up. Let me just fix everybody's crown.
Yes,
fix your crown. You are amazing. You are powerful. You are strong. Stay encouraged no matter what. Life is going to do what life is doing what it's supposed to do. It's
life.
It's
life.
That's not even a word.
It's not a word. It's not a word, but it's life.
However, it's okay if you're going to isolate yourself and just get one with God. And it's okay to go on your knees and say, I did it in prison. I went on my knees when my daughters would email me or say certain things. And I say, God, listen, I know you a God, you big, and you said, the hairs on my head, and you know how many stars and the names in the sky.
Yes,
and you said no weapons formed against you shall prosper. You said you'll make all my crooked paths straight.
Yes,
okay?
yes. Keep
you
it going.
said
Keep
I'm the
it
apple
going.
on your eye.
Keep it going.
Okay.
And you said, and you knew me in my mother's womb.
Okay.
Come
so
on now.
obviously you created me knowing I was going to go to jail. You created me knowing I was going to do all these bad stuff. But the fact that you created me, that showed me that you're sovereign.
Yes.
And you love me.
Still love me.
And you allowed me to go through this because there was some. You overturned my ship because you wanted to build that characteristic, that tenacity inside of me, and I'm grateful for it. But I need you right now. I need you. My children need you. I need you to help me. And I cried and I poured out, and I literally would feel something come off of me, like eject out of me.
Whoa.
Like, and then I'll go to sleep like a baby and wake up like, good morning.
Yes, man. So I have a question for you, Lonnie. If redemption had a tagline, what would yours be?
Let's go first. What purpose? King.
Play at your own risk.
Do it by yourself. Do it alone. Whatever you do, do it by yourself.
I mean, you're on your own indictment.
Yeah, you on your own.
We're not encouraging that, right?
Right.
But
if you do it by yourself, it won't be no yes.
Because it's like, it's nobody telling you.
Nobody's gonna tell you. You're not gonna tell yourself.
Correct.
Yeah.
Never let your left hand know what your right hand is doing.
My grandma used to tell me that all the time.
Never.
Yeah. Just be mindful. This is real.
Yes.
This is real.
Yes.
Like, we went through a real life journey. Just see,
So Lonnie has one. Lonnie has received.
Well, see, I went to trial, so that's my trial book. Lonnie has the indictment.
Okay.
And she has her judgment. Like, everyone have their judgment, their indictment, because it shows you the United States of America versus everybody's name on that indictment, and it has everything in there.
Okay.
Right. So
okay.
everyone that all the players got that.
So, a question for you. The same question I asked her. If redemption had a tagline, what would yours be?
Play it. It was the same thing. Do it by yourself.
Do it by yourself?
Yeah, do it by yourself. You got to be strategic. I mean, do it by yourself.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
I agree.
I mean, what would it be? I mean,
I definitely agree. Agree. What would be one thing through all of this? You've had your glitz, your glam. You did your meetups, your bartending. You met Lonnie friends, went to trial, media coverage. Through all of this prison time, through all of this, what would be one thing you've learned from this? And what would be one thing that you would want people to know about you throughout this process? And Lonnie, you will go next as well.
Let me tell you something. I learned I am a humble individual. Loyalty is real. And one thing I learned about the word real, realize everyone ain't loyal.
Yeah, man, no. Go, girl. Say that again, girl.
Okay. Realize everyone ain't loyal.
Yes.
This was very humbling for all of us. I'm not going to discredit nothing from none of them because everyone went through their own path.
Yes.
I'm good. I forgave everyone. You did what you did. You did what you did. I'm good.
Have you ever had someone, just not to cut your statement, have you ever had any one of your rivals, or not rivals, players, to ever reach out to you and be like, hey, girl, I want to sit down with you?
No. But I had an encounter with one who testified against me.
Yeah.
We did have an encounter because I help individuals who are domestic violence or sex traffic victims, right? That's something I also do. And I had to take one of them to a facility, and we spoke over the phone, and I was like, this lady is from where I'm from.
Right.
And when I finally get to see who it was an individual. And it was nothing. It wasn't nothing. I was looking crazy that day. I know she was like, what the hell going on with her? But it was 6 o'clock in the morning. I was just like, However, it was nothing. I said, this is what I do. She said, this is what she do. I said, well, if you have any individual that need assistance, this is my phone number. And you can give them my phone number, and then we're going to take it from there. And that's what it was. You could have really see the uncomfortableness, like,
whoa, yeah.
But with me, hey, it's good in the hood. I'm good. Right. I don't wear on my shoulders. I don't do all that.
It's like water off a duck's back.
Right. I mean, it happened. It's done. We can't change it. It is what it is. I'm not mad at you. I don't hate you. I ain't got none of that. We have the same common thread here, and it's helping these people. Let's just help these people and move forward. That was it. But it showed me that I've grown. And it probably showed that individual, like, because you don't know what my expectation was, because it's like, damn, I was a part of putting you down.
Right.
Because sometimes some people are like, oh yeah, now what's it? I'm not, no. Because he already showed me, like, don't miss your blessing up. And that's how he's going to show you your blessing.
Yes.
He's not going to put you in somebody you care for and you love and so forth. He's going to put you with your enemy. Let me see how she's going to.
The same people that slayed you.
Right.
Yes.
Right. I've seen a couple of them, even when I went away or so forth. I said nothing. I'm good.
Right.
I am good.
So Lonnie, what is through all this whole process, going through this whole process, what is one thing you've learned and one thing that you would take away from this process?
I was always humble, but I learned to keep stuff to myself. Like I don't speak on things until it is done, because people really don't have your best interests at heart, and they block your blessings.
Yes.
So until everything is complete, I don't speak on stuff.
Correct, because you don't want to. In the islands, we call it goat mouth. You don't want to. You know, what did it say? Count your eggs before it hatch.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You don't want to do that. And then you also have to realize too that everybody want to see you do good, but not better than them.
Yes,
Yep.
girl. Say that again. Say that again, honey.
Everyone want to see you do good, but not better than them.
And you know what? One thing I realized with talking to you ladies, people are not jealous of things that you have. They're not jealous of the car you drive. They're not jealous of where you work at. They're jealous of things that they cannot get. You get what I'm saying? And that's like your energy. That's your aura. That's the way that when you walk into the room.
You know why?
Tell me why.
It's not on us, it's in us.
Hey, go ahead, girl. Go ahead. But that be the thing. That's what people are jealous of. They're not jealous. In my head, I'm like, people are not jealous. People can go get that stuff. But the stuff that they're really jealous is stuff that they can't get. That's not for sale. And that's what it is. And that's what it really, really be. That's what it really, really be.
Yeah, so you just have to watch. You got to protect your space, your peace. You know, it's a learning experience. And I just tell everyone, stay encouraged and, you know, play at your own risk. If you feel like that's what you want to do, then that's on you. You know, just know that you're not disappointing just yourself, or you're affecting your children if you have, your wife if you have, or a boyfriend if you have, your community, your family. Those are the people that's going to get the hit. Because now you're another bill.
Yes, I feel you.
So, I mean, everybody ain't perfect. This is no judgment.
No.
Just stay encouraged and just take it one day at a time.
I literally want to say, Coach Purpose, Lonnie, y'all have touched my soul. Like,
oh, Lonnie is a counselor now. She's a re-entry coordinator.
Okay, Lonnie, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Like, tell me about your new life.
I am a case manager for Aligned Community.
Okay.
And we help with re-entry for returning citizens back into society.
Okay. How long you been doing that?
I've been doing it for a year and like 4 months.
Okay, so during this process, during this time, have you ever ran into any other former players?
The same island.
Oh, okay. So, yeah.
She's home.
She's home. Yes, yes. So how does just how does that be when you're running into? Does it be like, hey, girl, or does it be like, you know, an elephant in the room?
It's not. Hey, it's like, are you okay? All right, cool. Or sometimes I just don't say anything at all. Like just passing straight.
Yeah, everybody's on their own beat.
On their own beat. Okay.
There's no vibes. Everybody's just like, okay, we did it. We did it. Let's move on. Yeah.
Okay, I have one question. This is our last question for the night. Something interesting, a little spicy. If you could do this whole thing all over again, what would be one thing that you would do differently that you done then?
I'm gonna say no comment because I'm gonna keep that to myself.
Lonnie, through this whole process, if you could do
restructure the system. Restructure the system. It's a system thing. Everything is systematic.
Okay. So for you, it would be restructure the system. Lonnie, what would it be for you if you could do this whole process over again?
Would I do it again? Yes.
Oh.
Why? Because it allowed me to see who was really for me. It put me in a mindset of being better, not only for myself, but for those that look at me as inspiration, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Because there's people that will look at you as inspiration, but you don't know that they're looking at you like that. Something I will do differently. Trust my gut.
Yes.
That's important.
That is very important. That is. I love that because that is so important because sometimes your gut be telling you stuff. But
no, that's that warning. That's God's love.
Yes.
Every warning that God give you is His love, and he's gonna communicate with the way you're gonna be like, something is telling me don't do this, and then you got the other person, it's gonna be okay, man. I got you. Nah. You have to listen to that's God's love saying, hey yo. So he would do a lot of things. He make the car run out of gas. He'll make the car don't start. He'll make you get a phone call. Because now it's like he know you're not gonna listen to that feeling, so now he's gonna do things along the way. And you don't miss all them signs.
To get at the grocery store to realize the card is in the car. The card is in the cargo.
Yeah. It's real.
That is, you know what? I just want to say, Coach Purpose and Lonnie, tonight, I have just been inspired. Your story is inspiring. It's a story of resilience. It is an amazing story. I just want to say your workbooks, I'm ready for them. Lonnie, what you do with the case managing and helping people get back into society is amazing. To do that and to be making a positive impact on our community. And with it being Women History Month, like that is important for y'all to have a space where you can tell your story and inspire and impact and let people know that or who are out there doing or not doing, let them know like, hey, if you are, it's not okay, but it's understanding. You know what I'm saying? Because every story needs to be heard and it needs to be understood.
Right.
Like we and I love that. And I
don't judge.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
What's the new saying? They say we listen, we don't judge.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, don't judge because you don't know what that person's. I don't know what you go through when you leave here. I don't know what he goes through when he leaves here. He could be, I gotta pay this rent, light, gas. You know what I'm saying? I always tell my staff, what you gonna do when your chicken is burning and your baby is crying?
Oh, girl!
You got two things to attend to at the same time, and all you got is $1. What you doing?
Barbecue or mildew. That's what I thought. I thought barbecue or mildew. With extra barbecue sauce, please.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, don't judge anyone. You don't know. You don't, like, at the end of the day, everybody got a price. You know what I'm saying? Even the big ones, even the ones above us.
That's true.
You know?
That is true.
So
I have a story about that, and I'll tell you a story later about that. Everybody has a price. That is so true.
Everybody just stay encouraged. Keep your head up. You know, just say hi. How you doing? You okay? Everything's all right? You know, be an inspirational catalyst to others. Uplift others. If you feel in your heart that pay for her groceries because you all of a sudden you feel that nudging and that pulling. Pay for her groceries. Because that lady probably just counted all the pennies in her couch, or she probably just was like, I don't even know what I'm gonna do. You know, y'all see what's going on in the world. We're not gonna talk about that, but you see what's going on. So let's help each other out. Like, stop with the crab in the bucket mentality. Stop judging. Give these individuals who are, and I hate to use the word felons, but justice impacted, give them a chance and an opportunity. Give them a chance. Because let me tell you something. I've never seen so much talented people until I went to prison.
I definitely agree with you.
I have learned to crochet a whole blanket, slippers.
I want to learn to do that.
Those crochet hats that you see everybody wearing.
Yes.
This is what we did in prison.
Yes.
All those crochet stuff people wear now.
Yes.
We did that in prison.
I have a crochet jacket over there.
Right. Like, this is what we did. So give
It was probably made by someone in prison.
Right.
Yes, I believe, yes.
So give these people an opportunity because people, you know, individuals who was just as impacted, they are just as smart and smarter than the ones who have never been in prison.
Hello.
But a lot of people are still in prison mentally.
Yes.
Okay, so give them a chance and an opportunity. A lot of people are just, you know, rescinding offers, and it's crazy. How you expect a person to, you know, move forward in life if you don't give them a second chance?
Yes.
And then that's why they have to go result back to
what they know.
Right.
That's true.
Give them a chance.
That's true.
Give them a chance.
I have a cousin who was in the drug gang, and that's part of you know.
That's all I know, yeah.
Yes, that's all I know. And then when I try to go to these jobs,
They shut you down.
You shut me down, or you give me a job, but then you find every fault in me.
Correct.
You find every fault in me to make me feel like
I'm not worth it.
So then I result back to like,
Right.
I know how to do this.
I'm gonna do this.
I'm gonna do this.
I'm gonna count these numbers and shake that pan.
Yes.
Tax free.
And hello. Lonnie, in your closing, what'll be some things that you would love to say and let the people out there in the roomies know?
Well, for you, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank
you. On
you.
purpose for bringing me in. For those that's listening, just stay humble and believe in yourself.
That's important.
Mm-hmm.
That's important.
And
It's the popping for me.
Don't ever stop. Like,
keep pushing.
the sky's the limit.
Yes, it is. The sky is the limit.
The sky is the limit. Don't ever stop.
That is so
Don't
true.
ever stop. No, that's true. That's facts.
That is
That's real talk.
facts. That is facts.
But believing in yourself is first thing first.
That is. And
Yes.
you got to believe in yourself even when others don't believe in you or when others don't see it.
Correct.
You have to believe in yourself. And sometimes you have to be a little delusional. You have to be a little delusional.
I want to use the term delusional. Believe in yourself because, listen, if you know without a shadow of a doubt that you know that you know, keep pushing.
But when I say delusional, I mean like you have to be a little, not like you have to believe something so much to the point where it makes you a little crazy. Okay, I can give you an example.
Speak those things that are not as if they were.
Hey, but yes, okay, I'm speaking these things as though they're not their word, but I'm still, okay, I can give you an example. Let me think of something. Okay, let's talk about podcasting. I could be a little delusional and say in my thing, knowing that I know that this is something I really, really love to do. I love to do this. But sometimes in life, you know, money don't be moneying. You know what I'm saying? Okay, but hold on. And I'm still going to do this thing now because I believe in myself. I believe in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I become a little delusional and thinking like, you know what? I'm still gonna put forth the energy, the money to this, and regardless of whatever is going on over here or whatever, if I don't have this or whatever I don't, I'm still gonna do this one thing because I know that eventually all of this is gonna pay off. It's almost like I have this mentality sometimes where I have like what they call it, a champagne taste on a beer budget, but I still drink champagne because I don't like beer. So it's like you see yourself so big.
It's called manifestation, baby.
Yeah,
and
that's what I do. That's what I do.
We all manifest
That's
that.
what I do.
And your gifts are going to always make room for you. And you made room in the ladies' room.
You just caught it there. I was about to say that. I was just about to say in the ladies' room.
Right. You made room in the ladies' room.
Yes.
And so you manifest it. You manifest because you know, you felt it, tasted, smelled it, you lived it. That's where speak the things that are not as if they were.
Yes.
So you know I don't see it right now, but you know I'm gonna
I'm eventually I'm
going
going
there.
I'm going to get there.
Right.
I'm going to get there.
And you went there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, Coach Purpose and Lonnie, this has been so fun.
It has been real. I
It has
appreciate
been
it.
very real. And you said real means what?
Realize everyone ain't loyal.
Hello, spicy.
Yes, realize. Stay tuned for my book, United States of America versus Me, aka Coach Purpose, the indictment story.
Yes, ma'am.
Stay tuned. And stay tuned for the Queenables reality show From Bars to Stars.
Oh, I love From Bars to Stars. I'm definitely tuning in to Bars for Stars. Real quick before we go, Lonnie, where can we find you at on social media if the roomies would love to chit chat with you?
On Instagram, it is Lonnie Lanz, LANNIE LANZ. On purpose gave me that name. So long.
Okay, Coach Purpose, if the roomies want to find you and chat with you, where can we find you?
You can find me on Purpose Tirado on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.
All right, guys. I just want to say it has been really fun.
It has been real.
It has been really real. And I just want to let y'all know, roomies, where the vibe thrives, the roomies will be a vibe. It has been so fun, guys. See you soon. Good night. Thank you for watching this episode, but don't leave yet, guys. If you want to watch this episode, click right here. If you want to watch something a little more fun, a little more off the cutting room floor, watch this episode right here. See you soon, roomies.